What's up, guys? Got second place today at the Digimon tournament with Red Birds. Matchups today were pretty simple matchups, but when your deck breaks, your deck breaks. So I'm just gonna go over the deck profile. So for eggs, we're running 4 Yokomons. Pretty simple card. What it does is it lets you recycle your pieces whenever on deletion. And what you want is you want your stack to die at all times. So when your stack dies, you recycle a bird, grab it back, and then pretty much you combo off from there. So you play 4 of it. You're only playing 4 eggs, and you always want to play those. For level 7s, you're only running 1, which is the Crimson Mode Ace. Never really went into it today, but other times I have. You ace, you delete up to 15k DP worth. Most of the time nowadays it's very rare, but you can pop quite a bit. In a 3 Great Angels matchup the other day, I did pop. I believe it was a Digimon Ace to pass it back over to my turn. And then when attacking, you trash 1 security for every 10 cards total in your opponent's stack.
Yeah, 6 or higher. Cost? Yeah. Cost?
And then for main boss monster, running 3 Phoenix X. This card, minimum you'd never want to run less than 3. It helps you pretty much set up everything.
Actually, it's right?
When Digivolving, you get Blitz, which is nice. And then as long as you have Phoenixmon or X antibody in the sources, all of your on deletions become end of attacks. So even with the Yokomons and any on deletions from the rest of the birds, they become end of attacks. So it's pretty nice because it's 13k DP, so you swing for 13k, 90% of the time you get a live, so your on deletions become end of attacks, which you trash security or you play a free body. Free body 9% of the time will get blitz. And then whatever you play, it has to be 11k DP or less. It has to also be a bird type trait. And whatever you play, you get to pop something with the same DP or less on your opponent's side. And then you play 3 Phoenixmon. This card has come in clutch against me, for me, against Imperial Digimon, mostly because this is pretty good. On play, on deletion, if your opponent has 3 or fewer security cards, you delete one of their Digimon with the lowest DP. Or if they have 4 or more, then you trash the top card. Most of the time, I always get it off whenever they're at 3 or less, because at that time, they're already low enough to where all you want to worry about is their board state. When Digivolving, you play a Tamer or 5k or less DP monster. Most of the time, you always want to play Tamers because you always want to set up the board at least. And then for the last level 6, we're running 1 Valk Ace. This card can stop Imperial, both Virus and the free Imperial, or even just anything that just has a lot of bonds on board with 5k or less DP. It's hand counter, so you blast Digivolve on their turn whenever they swing. On play, when Digivolving is the same thing, which is all of your opponent's bonds get less than 5k. And then alterns once per turn, when the cards are removed from any stack, security stack, you get to delete 1 DP 8k or less. And if you didn't delete, then it gets +1 security for the turn.
Better spot than where it was. Yeah, I mean, especially
for our 5s, for our ultimates, we're running 4 Gouda X. This card, if you're gonna run birds, always, I strongly recommend running 4. I tried it at 3 last time and I kind of regretted it because this card literally on play when Digivolving, you grab 1 red Digimon from trash, and then if you happen to have Gouda Mon underneath the sources or X antibody, you pop 1 Mon on their side of the board with DP less than or equal to his DP, and then, which is nice because then you recycle, and then your turn once a turn when a card is added from your trash to hand, you give something rush. So if you just hard play it off one of the effects, you pretty much recycle and then you give it self rush. So it's nice because
do you have any of this card?
Play it and then it's a free swing.
Yeah, like this. I got money.
Then for the next person, we're running 3 of Grudamon. This one combos off with Christy Damon so well that it's free because you get to use the Biomon, which I'll show a little bit later. to warp into it for free. Then you recycle the Christie back from field to play it again to recycle. Give the effect of when it dies, you play another Beomon, so it just loop itself. So on play with Digivolve means you play one red tamer with a cost 3 or less without paying the cost, which is nice. And then on deletion, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k or less. Also, I did forget to mention that Gridamon X's effect is on deletion, you trash the top card of the security stack. So essentially, whenever you swing with Phoenixmon X, as long as you have X or Phoenixmon in the sources, you're trashing two security at almost all times. And then for the last ultimate, we're running one Gridamon blocker. It's nice. I'm 50-50 on cutting it, but it's nice because it's a blocker. And then on deletion, you play a tamer for free.
Yeah, 120. I need another.
And you also send 2.
Send 2? Okay.
Yeah, you have to send 2 monsters, extra deck monsters.
Okay. You're doing a deck profile?
And then next, playing 3
Yeah, because we need more
Virgimon.
variety.
Digimon.
Blocker Virgimon. It's nice.
30. This is
blocker.
Okay.
So it gets 30. Second
And then,
gets 20.
And then on deletion, you play a tamer. Again, you always want to play tamers because you always want to set up.
Applon should be 2 melon.
And that's what pretty much, the more tamers you have set up, the more combos you're going to go off, and the more attacks you're going to get for free. Virgimon helps you recycle on Digivolve. You return one red Digimon card with animal, avian, bird, beast, or sovereign.
Malon bounces back to the hand.
From trash to hand.
Applon,
So pretty much, just like, if you throw away one of your pieces early, just Digivolve, recycle it back, and then your turn once.
Fuck this card, fuck this card, fuck this card, and this card especially.
Your turn once per turn, whenever you check a security, you gain 1 memory. It's nice because like, if you swing over.
So just switch me and you.
This card, I threw in because this card is needed. Sabretron, its effects is raid retail. So raid, you just swing at the highest. You can swing at security, but raid forces you to swing into the highest body on board. And then retaliation, whatever it battled. Let's say if you die from battle, retaliation, you kill that body. And then on deletion, you recycle. You return 1 red or purple Digimon from trash to hand. And then that's it for the champions.
15.
I take 4,000.
Playing 4 SR BT14 Beomon.
Pass turn.
This card is needed at no. You need to run for it. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Start main phase. It helps you start searching pieces if you don't have it. Start main phase. You trash any bird or any avian, anything like that. Then you check top 4 cards for a red card. Any red card, so like a tamer, option, like anything that you need. So you grab it to hand. Same thing as the Virgimon. Your turn once per turn. Whenever you check a security, you gain 1 memory.
And that's on play or on Digivolution?
So this one started main phase.
Okay.
So let's say if you have it in breeding, then you promote out,
can
then you
do
trigger
all
all
monster.
trash, and then check top
Use
4.
materials from the grave.
So it's not on play, which is really nice. Next 4 we're running is the Beomon from BT11. On play, you check top 3. You grab 1 vaccine, which every card in this deck is a vaccine, except for the level 17, the virus. Which thankfully I've never whiffed on it. So you check for a red vaccine card, or red mon with vaccine, and then you grab 1 red tamer. All day today, I've always hit 2 off the top 3 searches.
That's bullshit.
And then this card, 3 Beomon. This one is the one that lets you warp and start to loop with this Gridamon right here. On play, if you play it by an effect, you bounce 1 Christie Damien, which I'll show a little bit later, to warp into a Garudamon without paying costs, which is really nice. And then on deletion, you draw 1. So pretty much what you do is you'll play it by an effect, warp into Garuda, play the Christie, and then just warp back into it. And then just essentially just loop it back out. That's it for the Mons. Now for the Tamers. Now playing 3 Sora. This is your memory setter. So if you start at less than 2 or less and it says 3, and then when a card is removed from security, or when a card is returned from trash to hand, you can bounce Sora. This is an alternate effect, which is really nice. So you bounce it back to hand, and then you get to play a 13k or less body bird, it has to be, and for free. But it all matters how many security they have. So it's 13 minus 2 for every security. So let's say if they have 4, then they will play 5, and 3, 7,
Return back to the deck.
2, 9, and then like 1, then 11. But if you bounce it and then while you have no security, then you play 13k. Then this card, the Christie, which is what I've been mentioning.
Cycle it.
I want to bump it up to 4, but I've breaked with this so many times to where 3 is good enough. Start main phase, if you have a bird or avian and traits, you get 1 memory. And then on play, you give one of your Digimon on deletion, you get to play 1 Beomon from hand to trash. So that effect lasts until the end of their opponent's turn. So pretty much, usually what you want to do is you give it to anybody on board. And then let's say if it dies, effect, you play Beomon from trash or hand, play this one, bounce back the Christie to hand, warp into Garuda. Garuda's effect, you play a 3-cost Tamer, play Christie again, give it the effect of when it dies, play Beomon, and then from there that's where the loop starts.
Card or effects, anything.
And then the last Tamer, which it's alright. I mean, 2 is nice. It's Akiho. On play, reveal top 4. Add 1 red vaccine. Like I said, everything in this deck is a vaccine. Outside, like just mon-wise. And then you bought like the rest of them. And then your turn, when you play a Digimon by effect, you can suspend her and give something else rush. So pretty much, outside of Garuda X, you have 2 cards that give you rush as well. So no matter what, you always have Garuda in hand, or you have Akiho, and you're always swinging. And then options, just the last options. So 2 offense training. Reveal top 2 cards, add 1 red card from among them, place the other card back to the bottom, and then delay. So you trash it, and then you reduce the next Digivolution cost by 2. Well, correction. Your Digimon Digivolves by an effect, and it's reduced by 2. So which is alright. 9% of the time you're always playing a Digimon, so it's like, it's come up though. 1 Wings of Love, which I'm gonna definitely bump up after today. So you security effect, you just play in the area. Wings of Love, main effect, you play 1 red tamer with a cost of 4 or less, which is all the tamers in the deck, without paying cost. And then if you happen to have Sora on the board, then you get to recycle 1. And then so pretty much what you'll do is you'll play it, play Sora, and then recycle 1 body, and then oh man, Sora saw a body get returned back to hand, and then you bounce it, and then you play a body for free.
Battle phase.
Security, you play 1 Beomon from hand to trash without paying the cost, and then add this card to hand, which is nice. 2 red scrambles, which is the newest card I added in today.
Easy attack. Effective.
Play 1 red Digimon. So main, you pretty much you Digimon 1 your Digimon into another Digimon with the cost reduced by 3. And then you play in the battle area. And start of turn, if your opponent has a Digimon on board, you delay. Then you return. So before you draw for turn, then you'll stack your deck with 1 Digimon from trash on top, and then that'll be your draw. And then if you happen to have no Mons on board, then you get to play 1 2K or less DP from trash, which is pretty much all my rookies. So if I happen to play this Beomon, then I get to recycle up again. And then security effect, if it's checked, then you play 1 red Digimon with 2K or less, so which is, like I said, all my rookies. Then you add it to hand. For the last 2 cards, because I'm poor, and I argue that you don't need it, I play 2 X antibody instead of protoform. The reason why I run X antibody and I don't want to get the protoforms is because 90% of the time you always want to die. You always want your mon to die. So you put it, and then when you swing, it gets you Digimon into X antibody, so which is either X or Phoenix X, and then when it checks insecurity, you gain 1, you add it to your hand. And then all turns, if your opponent tries to trash it by effects, it technically can be trashed. So they can trash anything up to this.
1 Intis is fine.
And then the when attacking is
Instead of
anytime you
two
swing.
Intis.
So you swing once, go into Gruta X, and then you swing again. Happens to go on Phoenix X, and then those trigger off the effects of them. Where there's an antibody source.
That could be overkill too.
And that's it. My matchups today.
Omega too.
Round 1 was Virus Imperial. It was a 2-0. He didn't see anything, and I kind of punished.
Mostly.
The benefit of the deck is as long as you're able to see your pieces by turn 2, you are able to swing for game.
Yeah, also you can
This deck is not. It's not nice when it comes to people that
you
break.
can
Round 2, I played against
like Malice, right? Hit their link 3.
Round 2, yeah, Galactamon.
Underworld Goddess.
It was
Or no,
it was
against
tough
Red,
because Galactamon's pretty thick,
Because Metatronus
and
is
so it's hard to
with
get
the
off
same
over
attack
that
and
body, and he just
same
saw everything game
attribute.
2.
Yeah, you can Metatronus.
Round 3, I played against Lord Nightmare X.
Underworld Goddess, summon it, and they can't.
Like I said again, the deck rushes a lot, and Lord Nightmare X doesn't have any bodies to block or anything.
Or
And
Lacrima.
then that game 2, he didn't see anything. So like I said, I was able to just see all my mons by turn 2 and just swing for game. Game 4, which is it was just 2-0 against my opponent, which is Virus Imperial, a different one. He just saw everything.
I don't know.
And Virus Imperial
I'm surprised I
kind
went
of
pretty.
goes
I'm surprised I got as far as I
harder
did.
than,
You can put a PCR SP.
the Red Birds.
Alright.
That's it.
Thank you for the deck profile, Zain. Any shoutouts?
Any shout-outs?
Got it from the homie.
Want to shout out Cisco for helping me get deck profile up, and all the Yu-Gi-Oh community for always
Okay, my
really
homie gave me
being
an
cool.
Alistair.
When SP first came out.
And that's it.
Alright, thank you.